Well, hello, good evening to you. Welcome. This is Ghana Tonight. We're live morning news up here at Desawe Kanda, also live on Twitter and on Facebook. I am Alfred Ocansey. Tonight, lives lost and others missing in two separate boat accidents in the Central Region and the Greater Accra Region in the last 24 hours. We have the updates on these unfortunate situations while we seek answers about the safety of travel by water in Ghana. Stay with us. Also, conjunctivitis, that's popularly known as Apollo, is on the rise in parts of the country. Tonight, we seek education on what has now become a public health concern. Stay with us. We'll get into it. Also, Ghanaian youth are desperately seeking opportunities abroad and other parts of the world as seeing the surge of young people living in the country in droves. Tonight, we ask whether indeed the grass is greener out there. Now, we have a question on Facebook on this one. We understand a number of you responding that some people are even going to take bank loans to travel out of the country. That's how serious the situation is. We'll delve into it and find out the major issues as always. Let's get interactive. The hashtag we're using is Ghana Tonight on Facebook and Twitter. Let's get talking. Well, let's settle for Ghana Briefs.
Parliament Select Committee on Environment has invited the District Chief Executive of Shama to explain the circumstances leading to an explosion at a quarry site in the area. The Minerals Commission and other regulatory authorities have uncovered explosives at another site, leaving residents in the area in fear.
Generally, our findings is that galamsey is still pervasive even within the official concessions. Maybe we need to rethink the whole mining laws and how we are doing mining. And generally, we are not very happy with the compliance of environmental standards.
The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, says it is re-strategizing its monitoring system and tightening loopholes to prevent being shortchanged. The agency has thereby set up a 3-member committee to enhance monitoring and enforcement regimes. The Executive Director, Dr. Henry Kukufu, who made this known, denied claims that the Western Regional EPA Director was reassigned due to the Shama explosion. The body of a 15-year-old has been recovered and sent to Ada District Morgue following the Adakenu accident. 3 people remain missing while the rescue mission continues.
1 out of the missing 4 people who were involved in the boat accident yesterday was found at a community called Veime in the Bota region. So quickly, the chief fisherman had to organize his men to go for the body. As at 1:19 p.m., the body has been brought to Ada, the shores of Ada. So the police officers, together with some other few community members, came to witness the dead body, and the police has to take inventory and then deposit the body at the district hospital.
The flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, is urging the Electoral Commission to reconsider its decision to conduct the limited voter registration exercise only at its district offices. The former president contends that the number of centers currently serving Ghanaians is making it difficult for many to have their names on the voters' roll. He spoke to journalists at the Rage office of the EC in Accra after monitoring the exercise.
I appeal once again to the Electoral Commission. Now that we've seen the challenges, it probably is not too late to open the centers at the electoral areas, because it will be easier for people to travel. I mean, for instance, Ayawaso West Wagon is here. The farthest polling station in Ayawaso West Wagon is at Sator. And so there are people here from Sator who have had to travel all this way to come and register. They might not be able to register today. They might have to go back and come the following day. We know the conditions in Ghana today, the hardship. We know how transport fares have gone up. It's not easy on voters to be able to do that.
The Ghana Water Company says it is not its responsibility to prevent flooding at its catchment area in Accra during its annual excess water spills from the Wager Dam. During 3FM's engagement with the residents, Head of Communications at Ghana Water, Stanley Mate, blamed residents and traditional authorities for encroaching the buffer zone of the estuary.
The District Assembly must answer why they will issue a building permit for an unauthorized area. You wouldn't blame Ghana Water Company for that one. There are structures springing up in the waterway into the sea. So please, demolish these structures before they turn into homes.
Well, there's more news on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. This is Ghana Tonight. Coming up next, lives lost and others missing in two separate boat accidents in two regions. That's the Central Region and the Greater Accra Region. We have the update on these rather unfortunate incidents while we seek some answers about the issue of the safety of travels on our water bodies in this country. Some issues really that's coming up for major conversation, because since the beginning of the year to date, almost 26 lives have been lost as a result of these boat accidents, which we'll be getting into shortly. But let's start off with the Central Region, where the search is still ongoing in the Pra River for the 50-year-old security officer who got drowned in Chifo Praso after the canoe he was traveling in was also capsized, unfortunately. Meanwhile, the family of the victim, who are from Kweu in the Eastern Region, have also got in touch with the officials of the Chifo Praso District Assembly and the traditional authorities after earlier Onion News got that report. And in fact, this is something that we're keeping an eye on quite closely. And these are the videos that you're seeing with this rather unfortunate incident that happened in the Central Region. The NADMO director for the Central Region is joining us on the telephone for a quick update on it. Mr. Richmond Adaimafo, thank you so much, Mr. Adaimafo, for your time here on Ghana Tonight. So, update us first of all on the latest with your search and rescue efforts on this latest boat accident.
Thank you. Point of correction: I'm not the regional director, but I'm the district director of NADMO at Chifo Etimo.
Thank you.
The district capital is Chifo Praso.
Thank you so much.
The incident happened last Tuesday. That is on the 12th of this month, around 4 p.m. Whilst they were crossing from the other side of the river, from their Galamsey side, they were about 15 in the boat. They were about to land at the other side of the river, that is Chifo Praso, and the canoe collided with a stump in the river, which causes the capsize, and one person was missing. You know, on Wednesdays, they don't allow people to work in the River Pra. So they waited till Thursday before the chiefs and people were able to pour libation. Then they slaughtered a sheep before the research team got into the river for their rescue mission. But as of now that I'm speaking, they were not able to find the dead person.
I see. You're saying 15 people were on the boat that capsized?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And how many have you been able to rescue?
They were able to rescue 15. It was only one person who got drowned. That's the security man at one of Galamsey side. So it's only one person that is missing as of now.
So only one person?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I see. But is this a disaster-prone area? I mean, I'm talking about where this incident happened. Have you, in the past, recorded such incidents before?
Yes, please. Yes, please. You know, sometimes normally people living around the other side of the river, they normally cross from their villages or their side to Chufupra. So that's the district capital to buy their things. So normally it happens. This is not the first time. It has happened some time ago.
I see. So if this is not the first time a boat has capsized in this particular area, lives have been lost in the past. A life has been lost now, from what we understand. What has been done to ensure that this does not happen again? Because you're just telling me that this particular spot is known for it. It's a disaster-prone area. Boats have been capsizing there. So what have you done?
Sometimes I've been educating them that mostly when they are crossing to the other side of the river, they have to wear this life jacket. But you know, because the work that they are doing, that is Galamsey, is illegal, and whenever they are going, they don't take this advice. Sometimes I have to go there personally, then maybe advise them that they should use life jackets. You know, sometimes because the canoe at that particular area is one. So whenever they close from work or whenever they're about going to work, they struggle before getting to the canoe to cross to the other side of the river. So that is another cause. So we have been educating them that whenever they are crossing to the other side of the river, they have to put on life jackets. And maybe the number of people in the boat, they have to reduce the number of people in the boat as well. On the canoe, they have to reduce them as well.
Okay, so you say these people are mostly Galamsey operators?
Yes, please. And people, farmers over the other side of the river. People have their farms too at the other side of the river too, as well.
Yes, I wanted to understand that because you say, well, when I asked you that what you have done, you said these were Galamsey operators, so they don't abide by your advice. But they are not the only ones who utilize the boats in this area. You said they are traders, they are farmers as well. How about them?
School children too as well.
School children too, can you imagine? So what have you done? I mean, apart from you blaming Galamsey operators. So apart from that, you know school children are using that place as well. So have you done anything more than what you have just said to ensure that traders, farmers, school children are also safe?
That's what I was telling you, that normally we go there to check the number of people that got on board the canoe, to allow to ask them to maybe, you know, these canoes, some of them can take up maybe 70 or 20 people. So make sure that they will not more than the number of people that's supposed to be on the canoe. So normally we do go there to check on them. But this thing happened around 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening. That was last Tuesday. We were not able to go to the area to do such education to them.
Okay. Are life jackets available for these people in that area?
No, please. No, please. You know, for the canoes are owned by individuals. Well, individuals farmers that cross to the other side. But we are advising them.
So, but how do you advise them to use a life jacket that's not available? How?
You know, it's not the duty of me as business admin director to provide them with life jacket, because they do their own business. You know, somebody going to farm, and that's not the only place that we need to cross the river path to farm or to this side. So we can't be at that particular area. You know, some people cross at Chufoi and others in another area.
I get your point, but you see, the absence of the life jacket makes your job as NADMO also cumbersome, is it not? So you make recommendations to the district assembly and so on. So you are telling me earlier that you advise them to use life jackets, but the life jackets are not available. So apart from you saying, oh, it's not your job to provide life jackets, so then what?
You know, even when you come to my office, at the district office, we only have about two life jackets. Sometimes whenever there's flood, we go to the ground for rescue meeting. So sometimes it's very difficult. It's very difficult.
So anyway, so until then, the people, their lives are just in their own hands. They're just exposed to these disasters.
That's why I said we normally go there to give them education, to advise them. We check on the number of people that get on board the various canoes.
Well, anyway, thank you. I guess there are more questions. Maybe you probably may not be able to give us the appropriate answers. We'll get to the district assembly as well as we go on. But that's the NADMO district, that's Chifo Praso, District Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, Richmond Adayemafo. Thank you for your time here on Ghana Tonight. A rather unfortunate incident. I want to show you this. This is the Google Map location of this area where this boat incident happened, which is, as we speak now, there were 15 persons on this boat that capsized, and only one person has not been accounted for. 14 have been rescued, from what we understand. And this is the Google Map location of the River Pra. There's actually 16 persons were on the boat that capsized. And now 15 persons have been rescued, one yet to be accounted for. This is the the Pra River there. That's the brown line you see there is the Pra River. It is a live Google Map location. So that is the color of the Pra River. We talk about Galamsey and then also issues related to that. So if you're talking about, for instance, the president makes the point about winning the war against illegal mining. This is a clear exhibition of the fact that something is happening contrary to what the president is saying. So that's the color of the River Pra, and that's the river that these people, unfortunately, had their boats capsized in. And one person not accounted for. But, well, unfortunately, this is not the only boat disaster that we've had to deal with this week. In fact, the last 24 hours. The second one happened in the Greater Accra region, specifically Ada, where the body of a 15-year-old has been recovered and sent to Ada District Morgue following the Ada canoe accident just about 24 hours ago. 3 people remain missing while the rescue mission continues. Take a look.
The 15-year-old boy's body was found discovered at Vome in the Volta region and later taken to Azizanya and the Ada East District Morgue. Eyewitnesses say such incidents frequently occur at the estuary, leading to the majority of fatalities among fishermen. The Ada East NADMO director, Ebenezer Tay Kisenate, says the rescue team is still on the Volta River in search of the 3 who have gone missing. He advised fishermen to adhere to the use of life jackets anytime they on board their canoes.
Let's stay a bit further on this. Go on to the telephone lines now. Ebenezer Tay Nate, NADMO coordinator in the Ada East area, is joining us on the telephone. Mr. Nate, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. First off, if you could give us an update on this accident, the search and rescue efforts, and beyond this one person, the 15-year-old who has been declared dead. Any updates?
Yes. The numbers still stand same. This morning we had a call that out of the 7 people that were missing yesterday, one has been found dead. And then 3 other persons were saved alive. But you know, these people, the water took them to different locations. One was found around Ningo Prampam. And then the other 2 swam and then landed in a community called Kwaveme in the Volta region. So as it stands now, we are still missing 3 people. And that's how it is. Search is ongoing. Tomorrow, the Navy, together with NADO officers, will still go out there looking for them. One thing is, community members, fishermen, are also doing their search. Families of those who are missing are also traveling from Adan to different places, especially Volta region, to do their search over there. Perhaps they may find one or two of them. Will still let you know.
I see. So 3 people are still unaccounted for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this Azizanya place, it is noted for these boat accidents, is it not?
Exactly.
I think sometime in the first quarter of this year, there was another boat accident at Azizanya, correct?
That is it, sir.
How many people died?
Yes. That one, unfortunately, we're not able to account for the number of people that were involved in that accident because the information came later after 2 days. So we were not able to actually account for the number of people that were in the boat. But eyewitnesses said that most of them have been found dead, but the number we didn't know. Some other few of them were also saved, including a guy that was they saw him at Benin. As for that person, was in a life jacket, so the life jacket was able to sustain him 3 days in the waters, and then he was saved at Benin.
I see.
So that's how it is. It has been happening.
So this Azizanya place is noted for boat accidents. It's been happening. The number that we reported when this first incident happened this year, the first quarter of the year, the first boat accident at Azizanya, we had 12 people. That was all the report. 12 people died. Now we are talking about 1 person confirmed that 3 unaccounted for. So what has been done to ensure that these boat accidents at least reduce in this Azizanya place where you are?
Okay, we as NADMO officers, we always engage the fishermen and all people that have been using boats to cross the river, that they should always be in a life jacket. And they also complain that access to life jacket has become difficult for them. Now, we as NADMO officers, we show them where they can get the life jacket to buy. Though it is the duty of the assembly to purchase life jackets for them. But the assembly, as at now, is not able to do it. So what do? We rather advise them that, look, if you are able to buy it, it is your property. It is there in your room. As and when you want to travel on the waters, you can put it on. So we advise them, if they are waiting for government or the assembly, corporate bodies that will be able to help, and the help is not coming, they should take it upon themselves to buy their own life jackets. That's what we've been telling them. Number 2, we usually engage them and warn them against the use of the estuary. Usually the estuary is rough because 2 water bodies mix together, and the force over there is too strong for some boats to cross sometimes. So we told them that anytime you realize that the sea is rough or the estuary is rough, don't try crossing it for fishing. Don't try it. You have to wait. When the water level becomes down and the waves are cool, then you can travel to the sea to do your fishing business. So that's what we'll be doing then. But some of them reluctantly would have wanted to go because they are rather looking at what they will get at the end of the day. They are not looking at the danger that will cause their life.
I see.
So
but
reluctantly, some of them have been going.
So it appears that the absence or the lack of life jackets cuts across most parts of the coastal areas in this country, because there's been another boat accident in the central region. I'm sure you've heard of it, where another person has also been found dead as a result. They don't have life jackets. NADMO is advising them to use life jackets. In the same instance with you in the Greater Accra region, you are advising them to use life jackets that are not available. So what is the District Assembly telling you, NADMO, about the absence of life jackets? Because these people whom you are telling not to engage in economic activity, they might not listen to you because that's where they get their daily bread. Hello?
Yeah.
So I'm asking what you are telling the district assembly to do about this situation, because the absence of life jackets is leading to deaths, as we're seeing now.
Okay, now what I can say is that the district assembly is working hard to get life jackets from organizations and corporate bodies to be able to share for our fishermen. For instance, I know of the assembly writing to Ghana Maritime Authority to supply them with life jackets. I also know about the assembly writing to Ghana, now they wrote to VRA, that's Water River Authority, to provide them with life jackets. They also wrote through me, through my office, to NADMO headquarters to provide the assembly with life jackets. At least I can witness 3 different letters written to 3 different places.
I see. So after these letters, have the life jackets come?
Well, the life jackets are not yet in, and I mean the honor lies on the assembly to do a follow-up for the life jackets.
I thank you, Ebenezer Nate. Thank you for your time. Yeah, on Ghana tonight. Ebenezer Nate is the NADMO coordinator for Adan East, and the problem cuts across, where as a result of the unavailability of life jackets at most of the coastal areas, leading to these both accidents that's causing lives lost as we speak. And that particular Azizanya place, we understand, is noted for that. At least the beginning of the year, close to 14 people so far have died as a result of both accidents in that area alone. But it's something that we're going to stay the steam on subsequently and get some answers. But coming up next here on Ghana Tonight, Ghanaian youth are desperately seeking opportunities abroad, and others are already leaving the country in droves. Tonight, we ask whether indeed the grass is greener out there. In fact, some of you who have been engaging with us on social media, indicating that you know people who have taken bank loans to get out of this country. The queue you're seeing there are visa sections of a number of the embassies. Young people. We're speaking to some young people who are outside of this country working. They left. They'll share their experiences with us. They are connecting with us tonight across the world. Together with you. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly. We're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
When you have the extra bit of ambition in your heart, you also need extra bit of energy to come through. And for that, Rush Energy is the perfect boost to get over the line. Created in the USA and proudly made in Ghana. Thanks to the unique formula, you have the power of ginseng, the benefit of vitamins and all the energy of inositol, taurine and caffeine. Anytime you need to go beyond, Rush Energy will help you get there.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
chese na me ankasa me period na say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chese na nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me enu foforo kwa na mkwan mu a eba
head everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante and then ko end point o mama nura and then why dia watimi asori anante
that's end point for you
of akrabato
hello
o hwehwe what che
okay
a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me Johnson se ma na enkoyie en paso na ma yemre nyina na ma gina sebe ma na me ni bifie for there the hard nyina jaresa
you heard everything I have secret end point is my secret end point homeopathic clinic I'm free.
Who is the ultimate energy personality of the year at the 7th edition of your prestigious Ghana Energy Awards under the theme Ghana's Energy Transition Framework Sector Institutions as Building Block for the 2030 to 2040 target. You can nominate yourself or an institution for categories such as CEO of the Year, Energy Investment Impact Award, Energy Signature Award, Endorsement, Validation, Industry Partners, Media Partners, TV3, Ghana Energy Awards, 7 years of redefining excellence.
The battle is still on, bragging rights still very strong. Who carries the day this week for Group H? Is this going to be Anyako SHS?
We are the Hoholiers, and we are not just here to cook.
Wesley Girls?
We are not just brainy beauties, we are masters in the kitchen as well.
Ola Girls?
We won't like to talk much, we like to show actions.
Or Christian Methodists?
We'll let our fingers do the talking and your tasting will do the judging.
Yeah, can't you say, oh, because, oh, say, and then let's see, yeah. We are seeing everyone say,
27, 26, 25, hey, 24, 23. All the action is right here on TV3, Sunday, 5 p.m. with me, Cookie T. It is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
Enapa Foods. Say Enapa. Enye Ono Soko.
PGL.
Get ready for another cultural explosion like never before. On 21st September, Africa will witness an ultimate celebration of African diversity and flavor at the 3FM Afro Connect event. This is the place to experience the magic of African arts and creativity. You also get to unite in a sizzling jollof war competition, igniting a culinary showdown. Will Cote d'Ivoire hold the jollof war title? So whether you're passionate about food, art, games, or simply making new connections, 3FM Afro Connect event on the 21st of September is the place to be. Venue, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. To sell, call 053-220-0927. 3FM Afro Connect, connecting Africa and beyond.
Brought to you by 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
Sponsored by Tasty Talk, ECG Power App, Festival, Mega 6 Lotto, Acel Washing Powder.
This week on the Kids Arena, we will be talking about social skills with an expert.
What makes you communicate with others? What makes you communicate with your friends?
We'll be bringing you the word of the week, the trending kid of the week, and so many more.
Everywhere I go, it's African music everywhere.
It's always helpful to try to improve your social skills.
Is it a river or...
Yes. A special hello to Ghana. I am here for the 16th Annual Headies Award.
Don't miss out on all the fun this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on the Kids Arena, right here on TV3. Kids Arena, this is us. This is us.
Kids Arena, show Saturdays at 10 a.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. This is Ghana Tonight. Now, Ghanaian youth are desperately seeking opportunities outside of this country and are already leaving this country in droves. At least we've observed that at the Kotoka International Airport, and then also most of the embassies as well. We're seeing a lot, in fact, long queues of young people there. So these are this is a queue for visa. In fact, this is the U.S. What you saw earlier was one of these visa sections, and then this one is a program organized to have young people explore opportunities in the education sector in the United States. And you have, in fact, there were long, winding queues of young people. That's what you see there, who are all seeking opportunity to get out of this country desperately. And this is not typical to just this place. There's what we're just showing you. A number of you have sent us pictures of some of the visa sections of a number of the embassies in this country, where this is a typical site. As early as 3 a.m., young people start queuing to go for their visa interviews in a bid to get out of this country. Let's expand the tentacles of this conversation tonight beyond the borders of this country. Dixon Kojo-Sapong is a Ghanaian social protection practitioner and data analyst. He's based in Germany. He's joining us on Zoom. Also to you, Gordon Kati is also going to be joining us shortly. He's a Ghanaian health worker based in the UK. Actually, he was a nurse in Ghana and then left. We've seen a number of thousands of nurses leaving the country as well. Let me start off with you, Dixon. First off, would you say that are you actually experiencing the green grass out there than what you had here at home?
I think it will depend on how one sees the grass as green or otherwise. So, for instance, if you have someone in Ghana who has been struggling over the past couple of years to even gain a decent employment or something that will put food on the table, having the privilege to be here to even do any menial job will automatically trigger that conversation. But for people who are adventurous, those who through education have been here, could also have it on the other side. Technically, it will be green depending on what brought you here, what you're doing, and what your hand found to do. But it's never green entirely as it is being made to look like.
I see. Great. Gordon, to you as well in the UK. This is a Germany experience. Gordon, to you, how green is your grass there?
Obviously, the pasture is greener in UK and most European and American countries than it is in most parts of Africa. Yeah, so basically, that is how simple I can put it.
I see. Give me a bit more detail, Gordon. Why do you say that that the grass you're experiencing there is greener than you were here? Let's start off with Dixon as well. Dixon, your experience on that?
I would say yes and no. Basically, the minimum wage in Germany is 12 euros per hour. And so let's do this simple calculation. So assuming you work like 40 hours a week and you earn like 12 euro per hour, technically you are most likely to have a little above 1,400 to 1,500. Now you have a rent to pay, and believe me, a monthly rent in Germany will be almost like equivalent to a 1 year's rent in Ghana. So you need to weigh these options to understand the technical needs of the monies that you get in Germany compared to what you get in Ghana. So you need to take out your rent, you need to take out your utility bills, insurance, everything. So at the end of the month, anyone who is earning like 1,400 is likely to have a net worth of roughly about 500 or 600. Now, this is what you're going to feed on. This is what you're going to send home as remit. So in a nutshell, you are likely to save like 200 per month. But our system in Ghana is such that it is difficult to find a job, even if you're ready to. But here, yes, you could get a job, but the job could not or cannot offer you that kind of greener experience that you want to get here. But the assumption is, yes, the systems are in place, you get what you want, but technically not as green as it could be. So compared to someone who came as a medical doctor, who probably may have earned like a little below 5,000 in Ghana, the person could be here and take more. But another angle that we also need to consider is the fact that the depreciation of the cedi, the exchange rate, and all that. So once someone gets like 200 euros and it comes to Ghana, and it's more or less like a fortune, someone's monthly salary in Ghana, and that has been the deception. So even if the person is getting something lower than expected, it is considered a norm. And that is why some people feel, oh, yes, even if I get like 100 euros and I send home, it is much better than I was in Ghana. So this is where the narrative is actually coming from. So the greener or otherwise of this whole debate is about the narrative, how it is being preached compared to the reality on the ground. Because usually some people come and at the end of the day, they realize that, well, I made a mistake. So if you are in Ghana working in the banking sector, for instance, and you are earning like about 5,000, 6,000, and life is really cool for you, no stress, nothing, and you come here and you are struggling to do the dirty jobs there to make living, and you think it's so green for you, well, that could be another interesting debate though. But I don't really see it that way.
Very interesting there. So you're talking about a wage of 12 euros per hour. So the 200 you were talking about is in euros. Okay. So if you are doing 12 euros an hour and you are doing, say, 8 hours, so that's about 96 euros a day. And then you're saying that in average of 1,500 euros thereabout as well. But what are the specific jobs? Because I don't think it's a flat rate across all jobs, right? You get 12 euros an hour. What are the specific jobs we're talking about here?
Interesting. So usually, Germany, for instance, I think the most common jobs that foreigners engage in are just basically the warehouse jobs, production support jobs like the Amazon jobs and all that. There are some technical fields that will need expertise. So in Germany, they call it Ausbildung, that they need to train you for almost like 3 years, some 4 years, some 2 years, depending on your speed and all that. So you cannot actually get a more decent job that will make you feel comfortable. And these are the jobs that one will never even dream of doing in Ghana. But a person will find that comfort in doing it when they are in Germany or any other country in the West.
So yes, because it pays well, and then maybe the systems and structures are different, is it not? In Ghana, say if you're having someone working in a mortuary in Ghana, the systems and structures different from working in a mortuary there. In Germany, where you are, so that's why people will travel and go and work there as well. But let me, to you, Gordon, in the UK, now what are the specifics? If you say that you are experiencing the green grass there, what's the specific detail of your experience as a health worker?
Comparatively, if you look at the job availability, the structures, the leadership roles, by the people here, when you complete school, you get the job, you are paid well, the salary structure is very, it makes sense. You spend less, apart from, comparatively rent is quite more expensive here than it is in Ghana, but you earn more and you spend less on other things like food and clothing, shelter, and all that. Like I said, the shelter is more expensive, but other things are cheaper. So you spend less and then you make more. And looking at the exchange rate, which is most important, that's the reason why most of us left our country. the exchange rate also makes things, more interesting. It makes it easier to live in UK and, wanting to do something back home. The exchange rate helps a lot. Yeah.
For you as a trained health worker, I mean, you were a nurse working in Ghana and then you left to the UK. How rewarding has that been for you?
Of course, yes, yeah. The system here, you are paid every hour, so obviously it pays more than it pays in Ghana. In Europe, in most of the countries in Europe and America and other parts of the world, you are paid every hour and you are paid for overtime. In Ghana, it doesn't even matter when you decide to work for extra shifts, you are paid the same salary. But in UK, you decide to work more extra hours, you are paid more. Obviously, we pay more tax than we pay in Ghana, but we still make more money than I made in Ghana. I worked in Ghana as a registered nurse for almost 4 years, and I can say that I have saved more money in the UK in 3 months than I saved for 4 years in Ghana. And I can see, I've made impact in my life when I moved into UK. But in Ghana, I spent 4 years, and I feel like sometimes I've wasted all my time in Ghana.
Wow. You've saved more money in 3 months than you saved in 4 years while working in Ghana. Anyway, so, let me go back to Germany, and this time to you, Dixon. So how are the systems and structures like in supporting especially the unemployed youth in that country, talking about Germany?
Okay, so yes, that is true. And that is the unemployment benefit that, for instance, in Germany has been instituted. And you contribute to it on a monthly basis. So it's more akin to the pronouncement that the government of Ghana made concerning that same thing. I think that was also unemployment benefit, which I'm yet to see its realization. So you need to work towards it. You contribute. And as the adage goes, there is no free lunch in America. You pay, you contribute to it. So when you are unemployed, that is when you can lay claim. Even that, it takes time and the stress you need to go through, follow up documentations and all that. Germany is quite bureaucratic and paperwork and all that. So it is not really as easy, even though, yes, the systems will work to support you, but you must also pay. You need to contribute to it. It is never free, and everything that you deserve, yes, you must also work towards it. So that is basically how the whole thing is.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. And let me go to you. Professor Ocansey is also joining us on Zoom. He taught for a while in the U.S., is now also the dean at the Academic City University. He's a development and social policy analyst. Thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. So you've been doing quite some work into this. Tell me how serious this migration of young people from Ghana is looking like as we speak.
Thank you, Alfred, and greetings to your viewers. Migration is a very big issue all over the world. And if you look at Europe and America, I'm talking about North America, we have a driving force. It's an aging, society where the baby boomers, those who were born after the Second World War, are all retiring. And the baby boomers are about 45 to 60 million people. But the current workforce that is supposed to work to pay off the social security of the baby boomers is really about 35 million people. So the workforce now is not enough to take care of the older generation. And then universities in America and Europe are also looking for students. In fact, Ghanaian students are really smart. Wherever they find themselves, they excel. So they are looking for, because of the economic hardships here, people are looking for opportunities to go to Europe and America so that either they continue their education or they look for greener pastures. And we all know about what is happening. People passing through Libya all the way to the island of Lampedusa to Italy so that they can find greener pastures. So we have failed to to provide jobs for our youth. And I've said it on many platforms that if we don't find them something to live for, somebody one day will find them something to die for. They need jobs. There are no jobs here. And if they go outside and find jobs, of course, they will go. But if you go to the airport and see the number of people living, of course, it's a big brain drain. You train individuals, and then these smart human resources, you allow them to go to Europe and then build Europe and America. I think that, in a way, some of us have come back to build. And some of my colleagues call it national service because there are many cultural shocks that you see here when you come back. A lot of frustrations. But all in all, we can turn this brain drain into brain gain.
I see.
And I think that's
but
what the government
some have described, Professor, this situation of these young people living in droves as a national security threat. This is something that you agree with?
It's a security threat because when your workforce is leaving, it means that the people you work with, and unfortunately, the governments think that, well, we still have a lot of people who can work with, but we are talking about trained skills. So these are all trained people. If you want to go to America or Europe, they look at a lot of things. They look at your bank account, they look at your educational background and see whether it will be of benefit to them. So yes, it's a security threat because your human capital is being taken away by another country, and they're going to use your human capital to build theirs.
That's a problem. But do you see any urgency to deal with this on the part of government, to deal with this migration, the young people living in droves, as we're seeing? Hello, Prof. Unfortunately, we lost Professor Ocansey there. But a number of you have been sharing your experiences and your opinion about this subject with us. On Facebook, we put a question, and take a look at some of the comments, whether or not you will be better off out there than here. Dalbert Kisi says, most definitely, their system is largely based on merit as compared to us. Plus, the devaluation of our currency would make a foreign currency have a higher rate of exchange, consequently increasing my wealth in Ghana. Bismarck, the standard of living is too high here in Ghana. The abuse of labor is outrageous. One works long periods of hours and receives peanuts. Expenses is always beyond revenue. We live and keep smiling just by the grace of God. You say Bismarck Boateng, Bweri Kwame, Martinson. Every 6 months, security forces are passing out with no advertisement for enlistment. I go to work 7 to 4. The 10 hours of work, working tirelessly, but earn a beak of a bird salary. If I am to say same 10 hours abroad with the right mindset, within 2 years, or 2 to 3 years, you say, I'll be better. You say, Florence Okrampa, I'm happy here and will make it here in Ghana. That's Florence. Gumala says, when those of you planning to leave succeed, the few of us left here will bounce back and make the country better. The larger numbers is not helping because majority are planning to leave. They don't put the country first in whatever they do, you say. Quite a number of them. It says convert your salary from Ghana cedis to dollars, euros, pounds, and you will realize in Ghana we are only waiting for Judgment Day. Anyway, Boachi Hygienic sends us this one. Anyway, thank you. Justice Paintel says, ever since I had my degree as a Ghanaian, I never thought of anything in this country that's working. Even me, myself, I'm not working. Anyway, thank you. We have so many of your comments, but thank you so much for sharing the comments with us. There's an outbreak of Apollo. And so we want you to just take a look at what you need to look out for, and then also what you have to do as well in treating it, So take a look at this. First off, using seawater to treat Apollo. That are some of the harmful practices. Instilling human breast milk in the eye. Instilling urine in the eye, all of these. Applying herbal preparation in the eye. Seeking eye care from unqualified eye care practitioners. Self-medication. Using eye drops prescribed for someone all of that. This is coming from the Ghana Medical Association. So there's information that is coming out. But essentially, you should look out for these and not engage in such practices of putting breast milk in the eye because you have Apollo. No, go to the right ophthalmologist to get help. There's more of this on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. On behalf of the rest of the team, I want to say thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Join me tomorrow morning for Key Point at 7 a.m. here on TV3, also live on 3FM 92.7. And my guest you see there, Alhassan Suini, Dr. John Osai-Kwapong, Martin Bibu, Professor Ransford Jampo, and then also Richard Ahiagba of the MPP. They're going to be joining me tomorrow morning on the key issues that have dotted discussions throughout the week. Together with you, we'll have a key moment tomorrow morning. Thank you for staying with us here on Ghana Tonight. Have a great weekend. I am Alfred Ocansey.
Ghana Tonight is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.